Hi, welcome to a training video on all of Inogeni's products. We really have several categories of products. We have been experts in USB technology for a very long time, and we have developed some specialized products. What is the most important thing for us at Inogeni? That video conferencing systems need to be easy to use and truly seamless so that they can be installed without any problems, because they don't need drivers to be installed on computers. What do we have here? Inogeni devices are between cameras and laptops, or room PC, or even video conference systems, and we help either to convert or to mix, switch, and interchange the signals so that they work well during a video conference. For more than 15 years, we have been manufacturing, developing, and designing video conference systems that are intelligent, robust, and can really last over time. These are truly commercial grade devices with very good quality engineering and electronics. Our solutions are tailored to different markets. Inogeni products are available in the corporate market for video conference rooms, in the educational market for classes, auditoriums, laboratory classes, and more. We are also in the medical field because our equipment is CE, FCC certified. Our devices also feature different types of certifications, including TAA, which is for North America, and which allows us to demonstrate that we manufacture these products in North America. And we also sell our solutions to high-tech companies. Our range of products can be separated into 4 main categories. There are the mixers, the video selectors to manage multiple cameras which are connected and need to be mixed or selected and then stream into a single video. We have won prizes with these types of devices because for Zoom, Teams, and video conference systems, there is only one camera. But basically, with Inogeni, you can control 2, 3, 4 cameras at the same time. You decide which one you want to change. And for Zoom or Teams, for them, it's not a matter of changing cameras. It's always the same video stream. So our devices won awards because they are really well manufactured, affordable, and robust. We also offer video capture devices, which allows you to take HDMI and transfer it to USB. We also have the BYOM switcher, which allows you to have different hosts, different connected PCs, but all this with several USB devices. And we also have converters that will convert in different directions. So if we look here on the table, what do I have? I have the Share 2, Share 2U, Cam 300, Cam 230, which can manage either multiple cameras with a simple button and then change. And we also have converters and then systems that allow BYOM. So HD, 4K, 4KX+, allows you to transfer, convert HDMI to USB. The 4KX also enables a VISCA connection for PTZ cameras. The 4KX+ allows you to have an independent electrical connection that has been designed and developed to work perfectly with Cisco WebEx systems. The UCAM fits on the other side. It allows you to take a USB camera and transform it into an HDMI signal. All this can be controlled by RS-232. The Toggle, our little wonder and one of the most popular of our products, takes 3 USB devices and can distribute them either to a laptop or to room PC. Then we give it a converters like SDI, which allows you to transfer an SDI signal to USB. So all these devices are designed to work easily with camera or video conferencing systems as well. Interoperability is key. That's why our engineering works closely with manufacturers like Jabra, Logitech, and Cisco. We work as a team all year round, every week or every 6 months, to look at their future generation of products, our future or current generations of products, to ensure that they work well together. We want to make sure that you, the installers, have an easy time to implement our devices without having to install any drivers or try to troubleshoot problems because devices don't talk to each other. For us, it is important for camera manufacturers and video conferencing system manufacturers ensure that all of our equipment works seamlessly together and easy to use. Our groundbreaking solutions are not just the result of excellent product engineering, but also the level of manufacturing. We manufacture in Quebec and Canada. Our manufacturing companies are experts in the field of high-speed electronic manufacturing, which allows us to control our costs, ensure top quality, and guarantee long-term durability. Inogeni is also committed to environmental and social values. We are lucky in Quebec. Our energy is supplied with 99% hydroelectric energy, which means that our products are perhaps the greenest in terms of electronics compared to the competition, of course. We also have instilled a complete social and environmental strategy to offer better and more sustainable solutions for our customers and a better and more sustainable work environment for our employees. Finally, I would like tell you that our overall deployment has really increased a lot in recent years. We are in more than 50 countries. We have thousands of integrators who use our products and install them around the world, whether in high-tech, educational, or corporate sector. Interoperability, compatibility is really important, and for that, it is based on our partnerships with manufacturers. What is partnership for us? Our devices work with cameras, video conferencing systems, laptops, etc., and the systems must speak to each other well, recognize each other, and be able to connect without worrying the installer or the end user at all. So that's why we've been working with manufacturers for many years, whether Jabra, Cisco, Crestron, Poly, QSys, ClickShare, etc., to ensure that our equipment recognizes the cameras, recognizes the systems. From cameras to video conference systems, our devices work with third-party AV equipment, whether for mixing, video conversion between SDI and then USB, HDMI to USB, or on the flip side, or from switching video sources or mixing two video streams. So all this equipment must speak to each other easily, and it must also be very easy to recognize software like Teams, Google Meets, Zoom, etc., because these solutions will read the cameras in advance. We also have a really great feature. We can change the name of the cameras with the Inogeni Maestro device controller. If you have multiple cameras, you can even personalize the names to make it much easier for the users. There will be the camera, which will be the main one, the secondary camera, camera on the presenter, representative, audience camera, etc. By naming them, it really makes the installations easier. And what is also important is that we always ask ourselves when we develop our products, how they will end up in small meeting rooms, in large rooms, in classroom auditoriums, and whether they will be in university, college, or high school settings. We are very dedicated to understanding our devices' use in various applications. Our applications also sometimes apply to the medical side or on the side of high-tech companies, which have very specific needs, whether in terms of volume from a supply chain perspective, or simply from the point of view of technologies being used. Another dimension that is very important is the control options. To be able to truly control our devices remotely, we often have systems such as RS-232 or LAN in communication, or we also offer the API to ensure truly transparent communication between control systems such as Crestron or Poly or others, and then our devices. This makes installation easier. It allows installers to be able to put a control pad on the conference table. They will customize the buttons so that they work on their own. The same applies to QSys, which developed special integrations just for our multi-camera mixers and selectors. The control systems are really important to facilitate the work of the integrators. Another thing that's very important to consider is the distance between the camera, the systems, and the conference table to be able to properly connect them all together. Sometimes you need to have extenders, basically HDMI, USB, SDI extensions, depending on the signal types. We know that HDMI will have a certain limitation of 50 feet. We are talking about 10, 15 meters with SDI. We can still go quite far, but it depends on the cameras we have. Sometimes the USB cameras and a whiteboard, for example, we still have 30, 40, 50 feet to go, so almost 20, 30 meters to go. So what is the solution? We have USB 3, which is very expensive and perhaps not always effective, but what we thought was USB 2, but optimized with MGPEG. It's a technology that ensures very high video quality and also stability for video conferencing. We developed a product called the U-Bridge, and this allows you to connect up to 100 meters, 330 feet, a camera that is far away in the room or in the auditorium that need to connect to the video conference system or all other devices or matrix. And this is designed to work all the time with all types of devices, including USB equipment. Now it's time to tell you about all the devices that we have developed to mix and manage several cameras at the same time. This is so useful when in education or in more complex conference rooms where we have multiple cameras to present several things at the same time and host an effective meeting. We have converters that are integrated into our mixers and selectors. Why? Because we can have a USB camera, an HDMI camera, which fits inside our mixers, which will then output in a single video stream in USB 3.0 or MJPEG or 4K HDMI. We mixers and switches that will work with 2 cameras, 3 cameras, or 4 cameras. Our first one is the Share 2, the first that we developed, which was with HDMI or even DVI cameras. And so these 2 cameras fit into them and enable us to mix HDMI video and then have several images at the same time, whether picture in picture, side by side, or inside a panel. Here, more details. For example, we can clearly see here that it can be full screen, camera 1 full screen, camera 2. The picture-in-picture, image-in-image can be placed in different locations. It could be next to each other, one small, one large, and we can switch them really very easily. So the Share 2, like Share 2 in a few seconds, allows this instantly, and that's why we can have a camera that changes direction and which allows users to see each other at all times from all angles and all that while maintaining smooth communication. It really is a tool that is easy to use and allows you to maintain the dynamic aspect of the presentation. So we see here on my slide a little more detail on the connections of the Share 2. There are 2 HDMI inputs. There is also a LAN or RS-232 control system, which allows you to control the device remotely. Audio inputs in and out. On the front side, you can see that there is a USB 3 connection for really high speed, high capacity to get to the laptop, and then 2 other USB inputs, which become a bit like a hub for the laptop. Basically, the computer allows you to connect a mouse, USB dongle mouse receiver, or a keyboard via USB very easily. The Share 2U, so what we innovated when we moved from Share 2 to Share 2U is that we added a USB camera in addition to HDMI. So the USB camera in camera 1 and camera 2, we have the choice of USB or HDMI as video source input. It could come from a camera, the HDMI, but it could also come from other things, from another cell phone, from another video source. We also still have our audio input-output, and then the ability to have a control system via LAN or RS-232. So with the buttons that we have above, both Share 2 and Share 2U, we can change cameras very easily and therefore go from picture-in-picture side to side-in-side and change to really facilitate the presentation and choose exactly what you want to do. So for the connections, the USB 1 inputs are for camera 1, and in camera 2 we have the choice of USB or HDMI. We have an HDMI output, so to get to the screen, the LAN or RS2, 32 control systems, and then the audio in and out as well as in front, which tell us what the status. We also have a USB 3 output, which goes to a laptop PC or a Mac or even a system like Crestron and the other USB inputs, which act as an extension of your laptop. All of these tools are very easy to use and very useful for connecting cameras, which can be at the back of the audience, be that in front of the audience, to capture the presenter, to capture people in the room, meeting, or in the student room. They can be used for a whiteboard. All is connected together, and the fact that it is a single video stream, we provide control for Teams, Zoom, or the video conference system. It is a single video stream and it simplifies connections for everyone. The Cam 300 is not 2 but 4 cameras, 2 USB and 2 HDMI, which are capable of switching 100%, therefore full screen, from one to the other instantly, as I showed you, without having to wait for the system to recognize which is the next camera, because the beauty of our systems is a single video stream and the 4 cameras are kept in charge at the same time. So for Teams and Zoom, it's not a change of camera, it's just the image that changes in one video flow. So we see here that there are USB cameras, there are HDMI cameras which are connected to the Cam 300, and on the buttons we have different buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, so as to change camera. There are always the RS232 or LAN control systems which allow all the different platforms to be able to control it remotely with our Inogeni remote devices and with the control pads of the different video conference systems, and it is really fascinating how compatible everything is. So we see the back here, the USB and HDMI connections, the video out for the screen, the RS232 connections, the LAN, the connections to the outside, as well as the USB 3 connection, which allows you to have a video stream sent to a laptop or video conference system. As you can see, it's really easy because we have a document camera for a whiteboard, for the main person, for the audience, and that allows us to have fairness in the video conference because we can see everything equitably. The new one that has won many awards in recent months is the Cam 230. Why did we win so many prizes? Not only because it is built on Inogeni's renowned technology that we use for our mixers and selectors. We reduced its price because we made it with lighter, more recent, less expensive technology. It is just as robust as our other devices. We removed the padding with the different buttons because we said it would be more used to be under the table or in the rack mount, so not necessarily accessible. Also, because the controls to change the cameras can be done with control pads from Crestron or other systems. So what do we have here? It is a video selector, a switcher, which allows you to switch from one camera to another. As I said earlier, it's a single video stream. So for Teams, for Zoom, it's a camera, and there when you press the button, you can change cameras. For Zoom and Teams, it's still the same camera, but we've changed, you've changed, so we end up with USB 2, USB 3 cameras, and we also have an HDMI camera that can fit the fact that we are in USB 3 means there is high-speed information management, which allows us to leverage bi-directional applications. So if you have a video bar camera that is connected to the CAM 230, all this work with the video, speaker, and microphone. In a nutshell, the CAM 230 works with Teams, with Zoom, and with many other video conferencing systems. It is perfectly suitable with large room, auditorium, and Class A. There are always LAN and RS-232 controls and PTZ camera controls. Everything is integrated into the device. This is why it has won a lot of awards, because it offers a lot with a price that is really reasonable and very accessible. If we review the different connections a little, so like our usual systems, we have USB and HDMI inputs to ensure the different ones to cover the different cameras. We have RS-232 and LAN connections for switching. The APIs are available, and then we also have an HDMI out for the screen. At the front, there are small buttons. We want to do tests to be sure that it works well. We have LEDs, so it's easy to be able to change cameras with the buttons on the device or by control system. This summarizes our range of video selector and video mixer products, basically the mixers, which allow us to manage multiple cameras at the same time, and while offering a simple system for video conference systems. Because from the laptop or video conferencing system, the output is one video flow, and our mixer control 2 to 4 cameras. So now I want to introduce the Toggle to you. What is this? It's a very small device that allows you to connect 3 cameras to a microphone, speakerphone, etc. in the TV to the speaker with 2 computers, and therefore to switch from one, the laptop, to the room PC video conference system. I have a little video for you. So what is the problem we often face? There are video conference systems. We have different cameras. The system works well. There is a room PC in the background, a computer in the conference room. There is a pad control. Everything is fine when people want to give their conferences. But what happens? Yeah, we have a guest who arrives in the room and who arrives with their own laptop, a Mac or PC, and they want to be able to host a video conference, but they can't connect to the system in place. And they can present, but they can't use their own system because they may be in a Zoom room, and others would prefer Teams or Google Meet. The guest also wants to be able to use the professional cameras, microphones, and speakers that are in the room. So to be able to have a conference room and a professional presentation, even with your laptop, that's why we call it BYOM, bring your own meeting. So you bring your own meeting with Teams, Zoom, or whatever application. They take control of the cameras, and up to 3 AV devices like speakerphone cameras or whiteboard cameras to conduct your video conference, where you will have people assisting remotely or on site. The Toggle has won international awards at AV Design. It is used and standardized throughout the world for small and large organizations, even by the UK, American, and Canadian governments. Toggle is very popular, and orders are sometimes made for hundreds and thousands of rooms. We have established partnerships with manufacturers of different video conference systems. We have also created bundle with Lenovo, MaxHub, and ClickShare. We can connect the Toggle with the ClickShare, and the ClickShare will allow wireless communication directly to the laptop, but it all works together, whether it is Crestron, Poly, or Logitech. So with the different systems, when the person wants to be able to bring their laptop, create their own meeting, and take possession of the cameras, it will also work with ClickShare. We made an agreement with Lenovo, which creates a sort of a banner with the TD Cenex in North America or elsewhere. So you can mix together devices either for team rooms or Zoom rooms and be able to hold your own meetings, even if the system works differently. At this point, people with their laptops can create their own meetings. With Logitech, it's the same thing. We made sure that the interoperability is stellar. So you take Logitech cameras and systems, and with the toggle, you can create your own team or Zoom meeting, even if the system is different in the room. So it's really a level of versatility that the toggle offers at a low cost to make it efficient and flexible. Anybody, a guest, a team member, or an employee can hold meeting with their Mac or PC laptop, use the cameras, speaker and microphone in place, and conduct a real professional meeting. Now for the UCAM is a video converter, but it takes USB cameras and transfers to HDMI. Why? Because there are a lot of codecs and very high quality video conference systems that do not have a USB input, but yet people in businesses, in schools, want to have the latest USB technologies. So there is a connectivity problem, and that's where the UCAM arrives, and that's why we won prizes. If I give you a little general overview, then we have two USB inputs, one for the camera, another for audio. We obviously have control management by IP protocol. And then there is a USB loop which allows it to be displayed on the screen too. Then there is a transfer to HDMI, a conversion, and then a control system on RS-232. So what's the advantage of all this? Originally, the project came from the large company LinkedIn, which had whiteboards everywhere in the company and wanted to connect them to the Cisco system, which did not have a USB input. Therefore, this converter allows you to adjust the solution between a USB camera like the Hudley Canvas, which offers new artificial intelligence technologies, and convert it to HDMI and to input in your codec, or perhaps input directly on a display or on a screen or an HDMI matrix. So that's how it was invented, to be able to offer a camera and a microphone, which end up being merged and transferred to HDMI, because HDMI can carry both video and audio. So this is where we see that it is easy to use, whether for whiteboards or whole series of codecs, not only Cisco but also of other video conference manufacturers that don't have USB inputs. This is where the UCAM solves the problem. So now I'm talking to you about converters, but not just any converters. Converters that can be controlled remotely and which offer lots of possibilities and high quality. For Inogeni values and priority, it is important to invest in the high quality of the video signal, as well as in compatibility with all video conference systems, camera or video bar, to make sure that when you connect Inogeni USB devices, it works automatically without having to install a driver or do endless updates and connections. So we work with camera or video conference system manufacturers to ensure a really easy and obvious compatibility. So for installing Inogeni devices, you just plug it in and it works. The first one I'm talking to you about is the 4K X Plus. It was invented specifically for Cisco, although it is also used by Poly Video Conference System or other systems. But Cisco recognizes it, and natively it enables BYOM, or bring your own meeting. Because in a Cisco environment, as in other environments, manufacturers offer all the equipment for meeting room, whether camera, screen, speaker, etc., but everything is inside their system. And when someone wants to bring their own laptop and do a team meeting or a Zoom meeting in a Cisco room, they will do it alone with their laptop only if they have the 4KX Plus. Because what does the user want? They want to be able to have access to the high quality cameras, the high quality speakers, or high quality sound system and the screen. All this from their laptop because they're a guest or teacher. And he comes in with his laptop and there's his presentation and there are people who are outside who want to have on his team. He wants to have a team meeting with his laptop or a Google Meet while he is in a Cisco room. So by connecting the 4KX Plus, it solves this problem for a wide range of Cisco equipment. This is because with the 4KX Plus, the camera passes from the Cisco system and enters the HDMI of the 4KX Plus. Then there is a loop which allows to power the screen. Then what happens? Inside it is transformed into USB, and because the microphone comes from the Cisco system and enters the 4KX Plus, it comes out embedded together in the USB 3. And at that moment, the Mac or PC laptop controls the cameras and the microphone directly inside your laptop to create your own meeting zone or team. And at that time, you can also have a wire that goes via HDMI to the Cisco hardware to be able to push a PowerPoint type video to show a presentation directly on the screens in the room. It is also possible to use a merger cable which will take the HDMI as well as the USB and put it in USB-C for the laptop, which sometimes simplifies the number of wires on the table. But this solution, which is WebEx compatible, works with a really wide range of Cisco equipment, and also we have seen it used in several poly applications for exactly the same thing. When we look at the 4KX USB 3, it is still a converter that will take HDMI and transfer it to USB 3. But with Crestron, Zoom, Teams, or other manufacturers, we have ensured that the system also works very well. It enables the direct control with a PTZ camera. So cameras that have control systems are important to be controlled via RS-232 or with PTZ controls. So VISCA control in this case. That's why they are Zoom certified or Team certified cameras like Crestron's cameras and all that. Works really easily to be able to control the camera and at the same time transfer via USB to enter systems like Crestron, like Poly or like others, or even directly into a laptop. And with Crestron, the team went further. We decided to work in collaboration with Crestron for high-quality auto-frame and auto-tracking cameras. These cameras really make it possible to go very far to really improve equity in meetings because they will look for people's faces to really have a high, more engaging quality in meetings or in auditoriums for universities and colleges. And at that moment, the 4KX USB 3 connected to a Crestron system, all this ensures that we find ourselves in an environment that is approved by Zoom. For what? Because the Zoom software will be able to see the camera and send PTZ commands directly to the camera via RS-232, which is why it is Zoom certified, because basically on the Zoom platform through the Crestron system, our 4KX USB 3 and cameras, because several Crestron cameras which allow this, well, all this function of VISCA is activated and functional via the Zoom platform. That's why it's Zoom certified. So here we can see how the 4KX USB 3 works. That is to say that between Crestron and the 4KX USB 3, there is both the reception of the HDMI signal, which comes from the camera via USB, and also on the other side, the VISCA commands are pushed through the 4KX USB 3 and go all the way to the camera. The fact that there is a video loop allows the screen to be able to detect via HDMI what the camera is presenting. So that's why it's Zoom certified with Crestron and then the 4KX USB 3. We also have the 4K2 USB 3, which would take 4K HDMI video signals and transfer them to USB 3 to be used via codecs or laptops. And we also have HD2 USB 3, so it can be upgraded in the field to 4K. Then another one is SDI to USB 3. Using some very good quality cameras, people want to use broadcast cameras inside a conference room or an auditorium that are in SDI. So they need to transfer the SDI to USB 3, and that's where the converter with a loop can go to the screen and can go via USB 3, also directly to a laptop or into a video conference system. So all of our converters are TAA compliant. TAA compliant, which means that they are suitable for governmental and institutional requirements and were manufactured in North America or in countries that are under the TAA rules, which ensures both security and robustness. Inogeni's devices are equipment that you can trust because they can operate 24 hours a day. They are commercial grade and built to last. I would like to invite you to try them. Thank you for listening to this training video to have a better understanding of how our equipment works, its robustness, and its high-quality engineering. If you need to contact us, whether for support, engineering, or sales, you see the different contacts on the screen. We have Jerome Bolduc, who manages both product development and also technical support with his entire team. We have Jeff Meyer, head of sales, the US and global markets, and Matt focusing on US customers. You can contact them to really find out more about our products. You can learn more about us on the web or contact us by phone or email or via our web forums. We look forward to helping you take advantage of Inogeni's solutions. Have a great day.